Hello and welcome back to Football Daily, where today we are running through 10 players who have started the season on absolute fire. Let's get into it. 10. Yves Bissouma. When Spurs managed to sign Malian international Yves Bissouma for a fee of just £30 million from Brighton in June 2022, many people argue that could represent one of the bargains of the season. Unfortunately for the former Seagull, his then manager Antonio Conte never truly believed in him, and he started just 10 league games all season, as the notoriously hard-to-please Italian questioned his ability to adapt to his tactical demands. But the arrival of the affable figure of Ange Postecoglou at the North London Stadium has reinvigorated his career at just the right time. He started all 4 games and has put in a monster 27 tackles and interceptions, the best record in Europe's top 5 leagues. He's also shown his trademark calmness in possession, ranking 8th in the league for distance covered with the ball, 2nd for completed dribbles, whilst also leading his side for carries into the final third. It is satisfying to see a perceived flop given the trust and belief he deserves and instantly return to their best. Let that be a lesson for anyone prepared to instantly write off any player this season. 9. Gianluigi Donnarumma. It's fair to say that Gianluigi Donnarumma struggled to live up to his enormous reputation across his first 2 seasons with PSG. The Italian named player of the tournament as the Azzurri won their 2nd European title in 2021, shared game time with Keylor Navas in 21-22, and whilst solid last term, never looked like one of the world's best goalkeepers. But seemingly energised by the arrival of Luis Enrique and 13 new signings, Donnarumma has started this season in superb fashion, saving 93% of the shots he's faced, the 2nd best record of anyone in Europe behind Inter Milan's Jan Sommer, who is yet to concede. And before you all shout, but it's only Ligue 1, how much traffic is he facing? Well, 9 Ligue 1 goalkeepers have made fewer saves, and PSG should have conceded 3.9 xG, 29th in Europe, below sides like Valencia and Stuttgart. Still only 24 and with over 380 career appearances to his name, Donnarumma is a young man of great experience. But if he truly wants to be considered one of the greatest, this form needs to continue. 8. Serhou Guirassy. Unlike many of the players on this list, Serhou Guirassy is not a household name. The 27-year-old striker has played for 8 clubs in his professional career and was playing in Ligue 2 with Auxerre as recently as 2015-16. But since joining Stuttgart on loan for the 22-23 campaign, the 7-cap Guinean, who represented France at youth level, has established himself as one of the Bundesliga's most underrated forwards. Brought in to replace Wolves-bound Sasa Kaladzic, who was the top scorer in their league campaign with his 11 goals, including one in their relegation playoff against Hamburg, proving crucial to their top-flight survival. This year he's gone off like a rocket, netting 5 goals in 3 games to date, a figure topped only by Haaland in Europe, which included braces against Bochum and Freiburg, and a consolation goal in their 5-1 defeat to Leipzig. It took until matchday 10 last year for Stuttgart to accumulate 6 points, whereas their fast start to this year sees them sit 3rd at the time of writing, with no side having scored more goals. With expected points rating them as the 5th best side in Germany above Dortmund, the signs are good. But manager Sebastian Hoeneß will know that their hopes of a top-half finish rely on Guirassy's incredible form continuing. 7. Takumi Minamino. It's fair to say that Takumi Minamino's first season on France's south coast with Monaco didn't go as well as planned. After years of playing second fiddle to Liverpool's host of stars, the 47-cap Japanese international was only afforded 726 Ligue 1 minutes, 17th in Le Monégasque squad, below Benoit Badiashile, who left for Chelsea in January. But the arrival of Adi Hütter this summer, who left Minamino's former club RB Salzburg the year before his arrival, has seen a remarkable turnaround in fortunes. The versatile forward has started all 4 games on the right of Hütter's preferred 3-4-3 formation and returned 3 goals and 3 assists, surpassing his output from last year already. Interestingly, the numbers haven't changed too much. His shot-creating actions per 90 have gone from 3.4 to 3.7, but the biggest difference is how heavily involved he is in play. Very much on the periphery in 22-23, he averaged just 21 passes per game, which has leapt to 33 this term, and more time on the ball has led to an explosion in his creativity, with his 0.53 expected assists per 90, topped only by Marseille's Jordan Veretout in France. Keep up this record, and Monaco might spend even longer atop the table. 6. Abakar SYLLA. One of the more unfamiliar inclusions on our list, we believe that you soon won't be able to escape the name of Abakar SYLLA. The 6'2" Ivorian centre-half was signed by Strasbourg this summer for a club record £17 million, which was also the largest fee paid by a Ligue 1 club for a defender this summer. How were Les Bleus Blancs able to fork out 4 of their 5 largest transfer fees in history in one window? Well, firstly, employing Patrick Vieira gives the club an obvious pull, but more importantly, Clear Lake Capital, the US consortium that owns Chelsea, bought the Liga side in June. It's early days, but Vieira's side have started well with 2 wins from 4, and their star player SYLLA has been a crucial component of that. No player in Europe can top his 20 tackles at this early stage, while his 83% success rate is 22% more than Ballon d'Or nominated Ruben Dias managed last term. With SYLLA also leading his side for passes completed, progressive passes and distance carried with the ball, it appears that Bowley & Co have got this particular transfer spot on. 5. Frenkie de Jong. At 26 years old and now in his 5th year with Barcelona, Frenkie de Jong is playing his best football in years. Despite the arrivals of Oriol Romeo and Ilkay Gundogan this summer, the Dutchman has been an immovable presence in the middle of the park, playing every La Liga minute to date. And to say he's made the most of it would be an understatement. Only Milan Skriniar has completed more than his 428 passes in Europe's top 5 leagues, whilst he leads Europe for passes into the final third, ahead of Enzo Fernandez and 11 passes into the box, 10th in Europe, level with Jude Bellingham and Bruno Fernandes. As usual, his dribbling has been on point, completing 23 carries into the final third, the most of any midfielder in Europe. Unsurprisingly, he managed to carry that form into this weekend's internationals, playing a role in Weghorst's winner versus Ireland in a game that he completed 95% of his passes, 3 tackles and 2 dribbles. If he keeps this form going, de Jong could be in for a very special year with club and country. 4. Florian Wirtz. Having predicted Bayer Leverkusen to be Bayern Munich's closest challengers before a ball was kicked on Continental Club, we are delighted to see Xabi Alonso's side make a seamless start to the 23-24 campaign, taking maximum points from 3 games, despite already playing RB Leipzig and Gladbach. Central to their success has been the enigmatic creator that is Florian Wirtz. Coming up to a year since his return from an ACL injury, Wirtz was eased back last season, with 6 of his 17 Bundesliga appearances coming off the bench. But there has been no such caution this term, with Wirtz starting all 3 games and contributing 3 goals already. But those top-line numbers don't really do his performances justice. He's averaging 0.71 expected assists per 90, the best record of anyone to start at least 3 games in Europe's top 5 leagues. To put that in context, the best record in Europe last season was Kevin De Bruyne and Neymar's 0.51, and with players like Victor Boniface, more on him later, and Frimpong making space for him, there is no reason Wirtz can't continue to wreak havoc as the season progresses. 3. Raheem Sterling. With 4 points from their opening 4 games, it's not been a seamless start to life at Stamford Bridge for Mauricio Pochettino. With a net spend of over £204 million this summer, £80 million more than next biggest spenders Arsenal, the pressure is on the former Spurs manager to drastically improve on their horrendous 22-23 campaign. A surefire way of doing that is to improve the performances of those that underperformed during that mess of a campaign, and Raheem Sterling with 6 goals and 3 assists in 28 league games certainly fits into that category. Despite a small but loud minority of Chelsea's fans arguing for the 82-capped Englishman to be sold this summer, Pochettino will be delighted he stuck by his man, because the former Liverpool and City forward has gone off like a rocket. His shots per 90 are up 15% and his dribbles 16%, whilst he has already taken 21% of his efforts on goal from the entirety of last season in the first 4 matches of this season. The player is credited a change in his dart with his improved form, and there can be no doubt that his hunger for the game appears rejuvenated. 2. Victor Boniface. In a summer in which an incredibly promising but raw Rasmus Højlund went for an initial £64 million after 20 league starts in a top 5 league, Bayer Leverkusen's £17.6 million capture of Victor Boniface is looking better and better. The 22-year-old had scored 31 goals in 81 games for Bodo Glimt and Union Saint-Gilloise, with his 6 goals in 10 Europa League games seeing him win the competition's Golden Boot and earning him an inclusion in the Europa League team of the season. Brought in to compensate for the loss of Patrick Schick, who has been out since March with an abductor tear, onlookers were interested to see whether he could adapt to the greater demands of leading Leverkusen's line. He has answered in emphatic fashion, scoring 4 goals and assisting 2 in 3 league games, whilst averaging over 7 shots per 90 and completing 3 dribbles. Currently operating at 0.99 expected goals per 90, the best record in the Bundesliga, Boniface has every physical attribute you could wish for in a number 9. Put in a performance against Bayern on Friday, and the hype will go through the roof. 1. Jude Bellingham. Karim Benzema scored 9 goals in his first season at Real Madrid. Luka Modric was voted their worst signing of the season 6 months into his Bernabeu career. It took Rafael Varane 4 seasons to become a regular, and yet it has taken Jude Bellingham just 4 games to have the Los Blancos faithful eating out of the palm of his hand. Arriving at a club that had just lost their talisman in Benzema, and with his understudy Vinicius Jr. lasting less than 190 minutes of the season before succumbing to injury, it would have been easy for Bellingham to ease into life as a Madridista. But no, not 20-year-old Jude. Playing in an unfamiliar number 10 role, he scored 5 and assisted 1 in his first 4 league games, contributing 15% of his output from his final year at Dortmund already, a campaign that saw him named Bundesliga Player of the Year. For those wondering whether he could now hit 20 league goals, we have some news for you. No one in Europe has overperformed their expected goals more at this stage. But for now, just enjoy the ride of watching a 20-year-old make adapting to arguably the most demanding club in world football look like switching Sunday league teams. So guys, that was our rundown of 10 players who have started the season on fire. There are so many countless names that we left off, but let me know your most notable absentees in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to Football Daily, and I'll catch you next time.